Pacifier pacifies. Yeah, it pacifies. Pacifier pacifies. Yeah, it pacifies. This quote, these words are words spoken by the famous I low-key forgot the guy's name. I know it's like Cedric something. The guy from At the Drive-In. What is his name, bro? Hold on. We're gonna find out. I'm taking the booklet out of this CD. Yeah, today's album of the day is an At the Drive-In album, but it's not one that you might think it is. Okay, I can't find it, so I give up. Think about this, okay? Think about things that make you upset, but instead of like channeling that into negative energy, channel that into music. That's how a lot of musicians do it. A lot of musicians just kind of low-key like get upset at shit, and they're just like, yeah, this deserves a song, an album even, to be honest. I think unfortunately people's lowest and darkest moments, their rage, their sadness, their envy, their negative feelings do tend to create better and more meaningful to a wider audience styles of art. I mean, most musicians that I listen to, like on a regular basis, or like most bands, are almost always like super depressing or super sad or super upset. But that's because that speaks to me, and then I don't end up taking that out on myself, on other people. And it brings you a little bit more room to introspect about those things and why they make you upset. Because a lot of people just think that they just get upset and they shouldn't be, because they're raised to believe that. I mean, regardless of if you're born male or if you're born female, there is absolutely like a stigma, a long-rooted stigma in human history, especially Western history, where we are taught to suppress all of those things. And yes, I will say that growing out of that is difficult, but music helped me. So I'm going to share with you guys an album that helped me. As a child, I listened to lots of different kinds of music, but one style that I kind of didn't want to revisit once I got older was, like post-hardcore and also post-punk revival for some reason. I used to like when I was in high school, or like after high school too, I fucking hated like the post-punk revival bands like Block Party, The National, Franz Ferdinand, like all of these bands. Like I fucking hated them for some reason. And it was because I loved them when I was a kid and I didn't want to revisit all of those like all that stuff, you know? But I also had a bunch of post-hardcore in my playlist. And one song that was on my playlist is off of the album In Casino Out by At the Drive-In. So if you guys don't know who At the Drive-In is, it's probably one of the best post-hardcore band of the early 00s, actually. They released 2 albums. This one in, I believe, this one in 98, and then Relationship of Command, I believe, in 00. Maybe 99, I can't remember. But just these 2 albums, by the way, that were just incredible. So, I mean, they have others, but don't worry about it. To describe their sound, it really is just post-hardcore, you know? Hardcore intensity, emotional, like it feels like he's like stabbing you and like screaming at you. Like chord extensions, extended song lengths. It's really just like what post-hardcore is. If you don't know what post-hardcore is, it arose in the late 80s or mid 1980s, if you will, to be more specific. Bands that were experimenting with dynamics and song structure within hardcore music. That would mean louder, angrier sounding music, but let's have like softer sections. Let's talk about more stuff. Let's incorporate other influences, because hardcore punk was a stripped down like guitar, bass, drums, vocals. That was it. Just now, and for 50 seconds. And then we have songs like fucking Napoleon Solo off of this album that is just, yeah, it's just great, you know. I would recommend this to anyone if you like emo. If you like emo, I'm gonna say At the Drive-In is also like a pretty emo influential group as well. I say that because of the song Hourglass that's on here. It's incredible. There's a lot of emo songs in this album, and they're really nice. But I will say that if I had to pick some songs off of here, Alpha Centauri was great. Hula Hoop Wounds, Napoleon Solo, Pickpocket, Lopsided, and Hourglass. Those songs are incredible. Honestly, in some ways, I do like this album a little bit more than Relationship of Command, but not so much. Like, they're pretty tied for me. They're just both equally really good, like post-hardcore albums. So if you like, I was gonna say Fugazi, but Fugazi is kind of a different style of post-hardcore. If you like Slint, you'll probably like this. They're a little bit more like punchy than Slint. They're more akin to the hardcore element than they are to the experimental element. But yeah, I'm trying to think of some bands. I really can't think of any. But if you like early 2000s, even metalcore, like if you like Poison the Well, you'll like this. If you like really any emo from the early 2000s or any post-hardcore, you'll enjoy this. I'm trying to think of some bands, man. I can't think of anything right now. I might just be geeked as fuck. That might be why. But yeah,